Joe Robbie Stadium on a cloudy, overcast Sunday. It's Super Bowl 29.
In all of professional sports, no event is seen by more people than the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 29, de finale van de American Football Competitie.
San Francisco y aún David en el equipo de San Diego. Benny, ¿qué tiene que hacer San Diego para ganar este partido?
San Diego Chargers zu schlagen, was eigentlich alle Fachleute erwarten, aber Super Bowl ist ein einziges Spiel und das ist die San Diego Chargers zu schlagen, was eigentlich alle Fachleute erwarten, aber Super Bowl ist ein einziges.
But while the Super Bowl is viewed by many, there is a side to it witnessed by only a few.
How can they leave Jerry uncovered like that? I don't know.
You're playing like you're on ice. Secondary, when you get the shot, you gotta make the hit.
Keep the clamps on them. Keep the clamps on them.
This is the inside story of the San Francisco 49ers and their pursuit of history, and an intimate history of America's greatest game.
He's gone. The 35, the 30, the old man Willie. He's going all the way. Right back on the arm of Terry Bradshaw.
You talk about Super Bowl, you can read about it, you can watch it on television. Until you step out on that field, you have no earthly idea of how important that game is to you. When you step out on that field, all of a sudden it dawns on you. This is a serious son of a buck right here.
It's big, right? It is big. It's awfully bright out here. Oh, yeah. A lot of damn people.
We're going to play the biggest football game in the history of Western civilization.
Super Sunday, what a day. I can't believe it. It's like a dream come true. It's unbelievable.
Super Bowl 16. What a build-up. We've been here since Monday, and I felt like running down and playing. I have goosebumps all over.
I think after all these years, Mike, that I could come out here and be nice and relaxed. Jeez, I'm a nervous wreck.
Showtime, baby. What you talking about? Showtime.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Showtime.
While the names and the faces may change, Super Bowl hype, anticipation, and chatter are timeless.
Time to go to work and have some fun, man. Enjoy it, but we got to win it.
Live and in color from Super Bowl, and it's the Babe headquarters out here. Of course, being inside, just in case there were a couple of drops of rain, I didn't want to get electrocuted or anything like that.
A lot of parties, but this is the one party where you can come and hang out with the NFL players.
I need a glass of ice in it, Phil.
Things were no different in Miami, where the memories of a great Super Bowl hero of the past were stirred by the main topic of conversation.
We're coming in as underdogs, but you know, that's been our thing this whole year.
We have no control over point spreads or what people might say about the Chargers or anything else. All we have to do is we got control over ourselves, and that's what we have to pay attention to.
I'm not a guy that you're going to make a quarterback video out to show every kid in America how to play quarterback.
Gonna shock the world today. Yes, sirree, Bob, just like Namath in '69. Same thing, same story.
It was Joe Namath who pioneered Super Bowl hype. In 1969, his New York Jets entered Super Bowl III as a 19-point underdog to the powerful Baltimore Colts. So it seemed that too much Miami sunshine was responsible for the bold guarantee that Namath made at an awards banquet.
I got up to the podium, and about the time I'm getting ready to talk, a guy in the back of the room, "Hey, Namath, we're gonna kick your..." You know what? I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, I got news for you. We're gonna win the game, I guarantee it. Our team wasn't getting respect, and that's how the guarantee came out. It was not planned, it wasn't premeditated, it was just anger and frustration, and I really believed we were gonna win the game.
Namath was brash enough and confident enough to make the prediction and then follow through with a great performance. And so you got to take your hat off and give him credit. Namath was able to read our blitz, and when we did blitz, he got rid of the ball and hurt our blitzing.
But I had it on last time. I threw the ball away. I had a 60-yard rip on.
But they didn't shake it.
They checked it off.
Did you check it, though?
Yeah, I checked the line. I had something else on. You know what I mean?
While Namath didn't put up gaudy statistics, a gutsy performance earned him game MVP honors as the Jets secured the AFL's first Super Bowl victory. Thanks to Joe Namath, everything players and coaches say before, during, and after a Super Bowl can be possible front-page headlines. Of course, that's not always a good thing. Consider Super Bowl XXIX. The quiet, low-key Washington Redskins were a marked contrast to the cocky, strut-their-stuff Buffalo Bills.
We're gonna make history today. They ain't that good, man, if you keep playing, right? Just gotta keep playing. Hey.
Come on, suck up, baby! Suck up out there!
Before the game, Bills assistant coach Chuck Dickerson had described Washington's offensive line, known as the Hogs, as ugly, fat, and sloppy.
Come on, suck up, baby! Suck up out there!
I think that, you know, a few of the guys that were evidently named or what have you on our football team, you know, they got excited and wanted to prove somebody wrong or whatever, or take, so I think that's what happened.
In Super Bowl XXIX, the Hogs were anything but sloppy, fat, or ugly. In fact, their blocking was a thing of beauty.
There's the snap, ripping hands to Riggs over the right side. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Chuck Dickerson, the defensive coordinator, he was doing all those sounds about those Hogs, and we're going to get those
Even
Hogs.
Super Bowl braggers who win can have their words come back to haunt them. Such was the case with Kansas City head coach Hank Stram, who was wired for sound in Super Bowl IV.
That might pop wide open, Rats.
Running play coming to Garrett on a top. Touchdown! Garrett
Yeah! Dementer! 65 toss power try. Yeah! Yeah! I told you that baby was there. Yes, sir, boys. Woo! They didn't know where Mike was. Didn't know where he was. They didn't know where to go. Yeah, Kasulki was running around there like it was a Chinese fire drill. They look like they're flat as hell.
Well, what happened was the next year, the league opener for us was against Kansas City. And the Saturday night before the ball game, a new part of our game preparation was presented, and that was looking at the highlights film of the team last year. And so the first game we played was Kansas City, and there was the Kansas City highlight film, and there was Hank Stram running up and down the field saying it's a Chinese fire drill, and pounding his program in his hand and smiling, and his rug was blowing in the wind, his toupee, you know.
Yeah, Kasulki was running around there like it was a Chinese fire drill.
What happened was we looked at that, and it kind of just incensed everybody a little bit. We went out and we played them and we beat them, and as a result of that, every game after that year, we looked at the highlights film of the team we were playing the next day on Saturday night.
During the next decade, it was the Chiefs who fell from grace, while the Vikings won 8 division titles. And very rarely did the Vikings resemble a
Chinese fire drill. Chinese fire drill. Chinese fire drill. Chinese fire drill. Chinese fire drill.
Media Day at Super Bowl XXIX. It's an annual event where the stars are surrounded, the scrubs isolated, the conversation often insane or inane.
We just sit, hang out, enjoy the sun because it's raining in California, as you know.
Do you do your own laundry?
Yes.
You liar.
I do.
You good dancer?
I can dance.
What do you do when you've got to go to the bathroom during the game?
Excuse me, you gotta go to the bathroom during the game? Mr. Coleman, excuse me. Excuse me, Mr. Coleman. Go.
Are we your first interview?
Nah, this is like my third one.
How does this one compare with the other two?
This one is boring. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Because you really not ask many questions that relate to football.
Well, we're interested in everything other than the game. I think he can bench press me. I'm going to see if he can do it. Oh my God! That's the best thing I've ever done. Can you marry me, please?
Is this more the meaning to the players or the press, this whole thing here?
I think basically just to the press.
You would think a few good questions would be asked. For example, only a handful of reporters knew that number 13, Charger quarterback and former Buffalo Bill, Gail Gilbert, was making NFL history by appearing in his 5th straight Super Bowl.
So many players work so hard to get here, and you know, you're here as, you know,
What are you saying?
What
are you saying? I haven't worked hard?
In honor of Gail Gilbert, we came up with our own Super Bowl trivia challenge and went to great lengths to find experts worthy of our tests.
Sablets hiding in the bushes again. Sneaky people. If I was a cheetah, I would have sensed you were coming.
6:40, 6:45. Then we don't do anything for 2 sections. So if you want to come here like at 10 in a half an hour, 10 of 7 or 5 of 7, we got 15 minutes of downtime. Then they've checked everything, we can do it.
Okay, guys, who kicked the longest field goal in Super Bowl history? We'll say it again.
Who kicked the longest field goal in Super Bowl history?
Who cares?
We care, Phil. We know in your MVP performance in Super Bowl 21, you completed an astounding 22 of 25 passes. But who was responsible for the 3 incompletions?
Stacy Robinson, Mark Bavaro, and Phil McConkey. Mark Bavaro dropped it.
Okay, now you're in the spirit.
Oh, okay, let me think. Who kicked the longest field goal in Super Bowl history? No idea.
It was Steve Christie, whose 54-yard field goal was one of Buffalo's few shining moments during their record consecutive 4-game Super Bowl losing streak.
Wow, that's right. Now that you tell me, I know that. Should have gave me the answers before we did this.
Ready for another one?
Yeah, let's go.
Who had the longest run from scrimmage in a Super Bowl?
Ooh, the longest run from scrimmage would be, I'm going to guess Emmitt Smith.
Boy, there was so much in that Washington-Denver game. Was it Timmy Smith? He had all the yards.
It was not a player named Smith, but a Raider named Marcus Allen.
Wide left, he has to reverse his field, but he gets away for a moment, comes back up the middle of 30, 25, 40, right past 2 minutes to 50, down to the 40, picking up a blocker, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Raiders!
So I'm going to get none of these because I'm not in my Super Bowl mode yet. No, really, in about 2 days, I'll get about half of these.
What was the longest pass reception in Super Bowl history?
What was the longest pass completion in Super Bowl history?
Doug Williams. Am I right? Yes, now who did he do it to?
Play action fake. Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly at midfield. He's gone unless they can catch him. The 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
It was Ricky Sanders, 80 yards. Is that right? Is that right? Tie with somebody else. Raiders.
Plunkett on a straight drop back. Here comes the rush. Steps up. Can't find anybody else. Takes off running to the left. Rolls on the move. And it's caught by King at the 40. Takes over the 50. He'll go all the way. Touchdown Raiders.
Jim Plunkett? Yeah. Kenny King? There you go. All right, 2 for 2. 2 for 3.
What was the longest interception return in Super Bowl history?
How about shortest interception for a touchdown in a Super Bowl? Jack Squirek against Joe Theismann. Yeah, I know that one too.
Looks off to the left, and he fires it out there. Intercepted! Jack Squirek! Touchdown Raiders!
The longest interception return. Boy, it's a good one, isn't it? Well, it wasn't Jack Squirek against the Washington Redskins against Joe Theismann.
Theismann back. Looks off to the left, and he fires it out there. Intercepted! Jack Squirek! Touchdown Raiders! I don't believe it! Holy...
What was the question?
Longest interception return.
Let me think about that. Probably me.
Francis back to pass. Throws a sideliner. Picked off! It's going to be a touchdown! Willie Brown! 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20.
Old man Willie! He's going all the way! The Raiders closing in on the Super Bowl championship.
Who had the longest punt in Super Bowl history?
I don't know.
I'll say Ray Guy did it.
Who holds the longest punt? Oh, got to be Ray Guy. Got to be Ray Guy. He had the highest kick.
It was not Ray Guy, but a Cincinnati Bengal.
Left-footed kicker drives it. Oh, this is a dandy. Taylor having to run for this ball. It bounces past him.
It's Lee Johnson with Cincinnati in Super Bowl 23. Darn.
So, how about the Super Bowl's longest punt return?
I have no idea. Might have been against us here.
Didn't John Taylor have a long one in that game?
John Taylor, same play, off the Lee Johnson punt.
That's right, it's current 49er John Taylor.
Picks it up, gets away from a man, gets away from another, gets away from another.
Now, the finale. Who set the record for the Super Bowl's longest kickoff return?
The Miami Dolphins against the Washington Redskins.
It was the second half kickoff by Miami, and it was Fulton Walker.
Here's Hayes' kickoff. Waiting back deep.
Fulton Walker, okay. But at least I remember the game.
Waiting back deep, Fulton Walker. He's got it at the 2, out to the 5, to the 10. Comes to the near side to the 20. He's out to the 25.
Fulton Walker did have this record all to himself. That is, until Super Bowl 29.
Here's the kickoff by Doug Bryan to Andre Coleman at the 2, going ahead to the 5, to the 10, gets a block to the 15, to the 20, scoots to the sidelines, weaves her out to the 40, out to midfield, streaking down the far sidelines. One man to beat, he's going to go all the way. He will score! Touchdown, San Diego! Andre Coleman, a 98-yard return.
Duracell is proud of its commitment to youth sports and Pop Warner Little Scholars. What does Pop Warner football have to do with the Super Bowl? Well, among the many NFL players who are Pop Warner alumni, there are 5 Super Bowl MVPs. They are Lynn Swann, Marcus Allen, Joe Montana, Mark Rippon, and Emmitt Smith.
Is everybody using Duracell batteries?
You kidding? The second I heard you can't buy a longer-lasting battery, I bought the family a whole case.
Reminds me of the first time we tried Duracell batteries. We were living in Tulsa with your great aunt Emma. We shared a one-room apartment.
Herb, did you slip her one of those other kinds of batteries?
Me?
You can't top the copper top.
There's no better way to profile a Super Bowl participant than letting the players do it for you.
Haven't embarked on a new career. Hey, 20 guy.
Oh, this is NFL film, Bardos. This guy right here, he's from New York Giants and stuff. Let's introduce Bardos. He wanted to be on NFL film this week. Dun, 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 dun. Harris Barton came on to the field for his 3rd Super Bowl World Championship. Sounds like John Facenda, huh?
But now's the time to work and strain at a sport that tests the spirit and challenges the brain.
You gotta be able to get it.
Come on, JR.
The San Francisco 49ers did not go to South Florida for spring training. No, as history has shown, sometimes you have to throw out the playbook to get into the right Super Bowl rhythm. Such was the case with the 1990 world champion New York Giants. During that season, Bill Parcells coached the Giants with his own brand of motivation that was often directed at offensive tackle Jumbo Elliott.
See some power, Jumbo. Jumbo, I don't want you to get nervous because that's not Michigan State down there. That's Philadelphia, okay, kid? Not Michigan State. I know if it was, you'd be real nervous.
After their dramatic victory in the NFC Championship, Parcells decided to lean extra hard on Elliott in preparation for Super Bowl 25.
One of the things that we tried to do was to put just a little bit more emphasis on John Elliott against Bruce Smith. And so, of course, I had Lawrence Taylor, who practiced on the same side as Elliott all during the course of practice. And I told Lawrence kind of a little bit before practice, why don't you try to stir Elliott up just a little bit, so give me the opportunity to make a point during practice.
You know, he told me, so listen, why don't you stir up something with Jumbo, get him going, you know, get him mad, get a fight with him. Well, you know, I'm not gonna get in a fight with Jumbo. Hell, he's 325 pounds. But anyway, during practice, I started, you know, mouthing out at him and then getting him all riled up, and I'll beat him this way and I would beat him that way. And then once Jumbo got really teed off, you know, he really mad. I mean, the guy got so mad that he called me every name in the book. I actually thought he was going to kill me.
Elliott said that, you know, that Taylor was a jerk for doing that, and that gave me the opportunity to say, hey, John, maybe he's just worried about what you're going to do about Bruce Smith on Sunday.
That last piece of motivation was enough to push Big Jumbo into the performance of a lifetime. Elliott totally dominated number 78, Bruce Smith, one of the NFL's great defenders, and the Giants pulled out an upset. This, the greatest Super Bowl of all time, went down to the last second. In a game where the margin of victory was so small, and the room for error even smaller, it may be that Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor's ploy was a deciding and inside factor in the Giants' triumph.
He's going for a run. Get out of the way! Get the bucket!
The Pittsburgh Steelers, coached by Chuck Noll, achieved even more spectacular Super Bowl success by going beyond playbook planning. For instance, you could hardly call Lynn Swann's wonderfully choreographed catches in Super Bowl X plays that he practiced. In fact, Swann's final catch, the touchdown bomb that clinched Pittsburgh's victory, was an audible called by Terry Bradshaw. The Steeler quarterback has not forgotten the call, but he has no memory of the play that prematurely sent him to the locker room.
The only thing I remember is I'm hearing this voice from way out yonder, and it's Tommy Brookshire from CBS. He's going, "You did it, big guy. You did it." And I hear it way out there. "You did it, big guy. You did it." And it keeps getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And then I'm laying on this table, and all of a sudden I open my eyes up, and Brookshire is right over my face, straddling me, telling me, "You did it, big guy." I mean, how would you like to wake up looking at that? Oh, man, headache. Oh, God, horrible. I couldn't go to the party. They put me in bed. Oh, geez, horrible. But I missed it. I would like to have seen it.
4 years later, when Noll's Steelers were trailing the underdog Rams at halftime in Super Bowl XIV, Pittsburgh decided to abandon their game plan of ball control.
We're on the sideline, and you guys are probably the ones that are filming. He takes his hand and tries to knock, "Get away from here." And he has me. And he's telling me the only way we're going to beat these guys, we got to go deep.
And go deep they did.
Time cranks it going long for Swann. He's got it. Swann, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Now Bradshaw pumping, firing downfield. There goes Stallworth. He pulls it in at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and it's a touchdown for Pittsburgh on the ball to Stallworth. And Stallworth beat Rod Perry. Oh, did he beat him?
Terry Bradshaw held virtually every Super Bowl passing record until a fellow named Joe Montana came along. While Montana has excelled in all 4 of his Super Bowl victories, he is best remembered for his drive to glory in Bill Walsh's last game as the 49ers head coach. Revealed here for the first time is the fact that Montana's outward cool directly contrasted some inside commotion.
The excitement got to me, along with the moving of the ball, and you know, I've never had it happen to me, so I don't know. I know I wasn't tired, but I was screaming at the line of scrimmage at the top of my lungs for an audible. And it felt like I had just hyperventilated. You know, you take too many deep breaths and yelling, because I've had to yell it 4 times. And I mean, as loud as I could, and all of a sudden, along with the other emotions, my eyes went fuzzy like the TV. And when I got in my hands, you know, watching the film, it looked like it happened normally. But during the game, felt like when I walked to the line of scrimmage, I took forever to get under the center because my eyes were like blurry, and so I felt like everything was slow motion. And then all of a sudden it started to clear, and then I started back. I snapped the ball and got the first 2 steps. It was back again like that, so I just turned around, and I knew Jerry was going to the sideline. I just threw it as far as I could just so to make sure that I got it out of bounds.
While things may have been fuzzy for Montana, it was very clear what was going on to Bengal head coach Sam Weish.
Deja vu.
Montana back to throw. Throws over the middle. A fine catch by Wright. Right to the 20. He's down to the 19 for a first down for the 49ers. Another brilliant catch by Jerry Wright. He looks. He throws. He completed the Craig. He's down to the 10.
Coach, you're going to go. You know, it's to Rice now.
At the 10-yard line. 39 seconds remaining. Montana at quarterback. In motion. Comes Rice. Back to throw Montana. Steps up, throws. Touchdown! Taylor with a touchdown. A 10-yard pass.
34 seconds away from it.
This is a tough moment in a way because was this the final game on the sideline for a great coach, Bill Walsh?
When it came to Bill Walsh's legacy, there's nothing to cry about.
Emotional moment right now with the coach down here inside the locker room, Jack.
What began with Bill Walsh has continued with George Seifert and Steve Young.
Young, straight back drop, quick pass, left flat. Ricky Waters makes the catch.
In Super Bowl 29, the 49ers never let up.
One more time. All right, baby. One more time.
And Floyd are in the backfield. They give it to Ricky. Cuts back left side into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers.
I didn't come up to the back myself. I don't know about all y'all. It's about time for a prime check. It's a call for a prime check.
The last 30 minutes of this season, and you got to decide what you want to live with for a whole year.
Playing free and loose as if it were practice, the 49ers triumphed for a record 5th Super Bowl victory.
You bad man. Hey, baby, you did it. You did it. You worked hard. We deserve it. What size is your ring? My size 22. I got a size 22 ring. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Is it not? 39 days. Hey, I share this with every one of you guys.
In the end, it is the rarely revealed personal emotions that tell the true inside story of the Super Bowl.
There was such a feeling of elation, joy, tickling explosion inside. The teammates, you know, we did it! We did it, you know? It was wonderful. And going off that field, it was kind of like a finality of it, you know, yes, and everybody's cheering and funny. We did it, we did it, we did it. We were number one.
We're the best in the world, man, for 1 year. Everybody sold out this week. Everybody. Damn, it's great, isn't it? You gotta love it.
God would come down right now. Terry, what can I do for you? Send me and put me back in one Super Bowl and put me on the 1 foot line and give me 2 minutes to go and give me all 3 of my timeouts and give me my boys. And then let me hear my name over the loudspeaker. Let me hear the roar of the crowd. Bradshaw, Bradshaw. And let me have them booing on one side. Let me get in and call plays, see the eyes grow as I call these plays and talk to them. Let me feel the hair on my back crawl up. I mean, that's what the Super Bowl does to you. I mean, it's doing it right now to me. I mean, I could go out right now and play. I know I can play 2 minutes. I know I can play 2 minutes.